right, guys. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Practical Wealth Show. So today we're going to talk about, I always tell people balance is physical fitness, financial independence, spiritual fulfillment, and mental stability. Okay. And so today, that's my areas of force. So when I set goals, that's what I work on. So today we're going to talk about a mindset makeover and how to have rapid relief from anxiety and chronic stress symptoms from a good friend and one of my clients. I'm so excited because she started her business, Dr. Leslie Becton, the Mindset Makeover coach. Dr. Becton. Can I call you Leslie? Dr.
Yes,
Leslie? Okay.
absolutely.
So tell them what I didn't tell them. Just tell us a lot, did your origin story, you're bitten by a radioactive spider, and now you got all these superpowers. All right. So
All right. So, just a little bit about my expertise. I am a doctorate level counselor and coach. I have a doctorate degree in counseling psychology, a master's in counseling and psychology as well. I am a certified coach, and I have over 18 years in the field of mental health coaching and consulting. So
that's
my
awesome. Yeah. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so
Go ahead.
my bit by a spider moment was in 2016. I was literally on a plane to my brother's wedding, and I was having what I thought at the time was a heart attack.
Mm.
I was having all of the symptoms of like heart palpitations, clamminess. I was having like dizzy spells. And literally, I'm on a plane out of nowhere, a very seemingly healthy person who had a regular workout regimen, eating healthy. It was no excuse for some of the symptomology.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally get to Mexico, and I had to be rushed to a hospital in Mexico. And
Okay.
there is where I discovered that I was experiencing an anxiety attack.
Mm.
So, a busy professional at the top of my career, I had really did a good job of excelling in every aspect of my life. But I was going through a divorce at the time, and I was inundated with, okay, how is my life going to look different? Now being a single mother and trying to still juggle my career.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the anxiety pretty much showed up.
Mm.
Like it
Mm-hmm.
just sparked out of nowhere. I was minding my business, trying to go on a family vacation. And then wham, I got hit with anxiety and panic attacks as a busy professional.
Okay. I think a lot of people suffer from that and they don't know what it is. So the first thing is identifying, okay, no, you're not having a heart attack. This is going on. And people don't take the mental health thing serious. So what's that old saying, physician heal thyself? So
Yes. So then I became a student. And that's actually my expertise in the
mm-hmm,
field where I practice. I work with people who struggle with symptoms of anxiety and chronic stress.
mm-hmm,
And I feel like I was passionate about it because I was a student. And
mm-hmm,
I, instead of trying to cultivate um, all of the traditional ways of getting support, I tried all of it. I am a
mm-hmm.
practitioner, so I am a student. And I realized that for me in my particular life, I was super busy and I really could not make that dedicated, long term, never ending commitment
Mm-hmm.
to a lifetime of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And with my schedule, I had to come up with a solution that could help me alleviate some of these symptoms without this long-term, never-ending
Right,
ideology.
right.
So
So
that's
that's what
where I
led you
came
to
up.
develop that. Okay. So how does your program, should I jump into this? Yeah. How does your program provide an efficient, effective alternative to let's go back to what is the traditional approach to that And then how does your program contrast that?
All right. So I am still a believer of the traditional approach, right?
Okay.
But
Hmm.
it's here's to the approach. As a person who was struggling and was in crisis in that moment in 2016, it's 2023. So the
Right.
same approach for me is cannot be the same. So the showing up to the same traditional model of talk-based therapy, either once a week or bi-weekly, with a plan that's very intensive. So I need to show up and be there and make the time to do that. But it's a never ending wheel of finances that are being turned out, because if this is a condition or a dis-ease that I have, I'm
Right.
always going to need this support.
Right.
So then I could become very therapist dependent. So my symptoms don't really go away or get better per se, because I'm dependent on this person or,
Right.
this sort of treatment to feel better. And so even though that works for some individuals, once you kind of get to a point where you're further along in your process, you need another tailored approach. And so I felt like that's what I needed. I was
Yeah.
outgrowing where I was. And so I needed something more. And that's where the mindset makeover was created.
So let's talk about that. And as much as you can share of, because now we know the see, because what happens is she's experienced, that's why I talk about the origin story, right? Because she had a problem, she's experienced, if y'all listen to this, she's had this, right? And she had to figure out, unless you just want to stay in Philly, how to get on a plane and go somewhere, go to Mexico, go to this and that. So you have to get over that, because a lot of people just stay trapped in their fear. Or like my mother, just give me 2 Valium and wake me up when I get there. And
Right.
I don't think that's healthy either. That was her plan, no fly. And so what tell us about that process, and how you help. These people are busy and don't have time to be on the phone. Or basically that's it, busy professionals, right? That need a way to kind of help themselves. How do you do that?
Well, the mindset mastery program is a tailored approach specifically designed for the busy professional to help
Mm-hmm.
guide them step by step and getting rid of these symptoms through an actual framework, and
Okay.
not just okay, you show up and you talk to your therapist and now you're all better for the week until next week.
Right.
Giving them step by step trainings and modules and a whole plan that's tailored towards their everyday needs, so
Right.
that they can implement these strategies on their own long term. So in
How,
this whole entire package, they are getting a guide for a particular period of time. And then when that
mm-hmm.
time is up, the expectation is effective implementation ongoing.
Got it. Okay. And so can you uh like kind of share where the framework come from and an overview? You're not actually going to go through the program, but is there a way to kind of give an overview of like a 50,000 foot view of your framework and how
Yes.
it helps?
Yeah. So with trial and error, I
Mm-hmm.
developed a framework, and I call it the 5I framework. And it's pretty much from start to finish. What does it look like for someone to be able to master these type of symptoms? And this is a real mental health disorder. So it's not like, okay, we can just sprinkle some air, something magic dust, and then it's going to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So as a true case study myself, I started off with a full on assessment, just having uh, figuring out like where you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because where I am versus another busy professional, it might look different.
Mm-hmm.
So doing a full on assessment is the actual phase one. And so then we work through phase two, and that is insight and awareness, just helping someone understand these symptoms a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, like you said, people are not even aware that they're struggling with anxiety. They might feel like it's a medical issue, or they might feel like it's something else, or it's just work, or it's just my family life. And,
Right.
yeah, all of that might be true, but they may be struggling with these symptoms. And the third phase is implementing practical strategies. sometimes in traditional settings, you may have interventions that are helpful, but individuals are not really taught how to guide themselves and use these strategies, and not the accountability component is not there to
Mm-hmm.
implement these strategies in their everyday life. So having a phase where you're actually being held accountable and you are sharing with other like-minded individuals to these are the strategies that are going to help. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
work them. It only
Mm-hmm.
works if you work it.
Right.
And the
Exactly.
fourth phase is just having full on integration of these techniques. And ultimately, the goal is transformation, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, it only works if you work it.
Right.
So it's different from regular therapy where someone shows up in crisis, because most times someone's in crisis and then they're like, just help me. I'll take whatever you have. But then when
Right.
they feel a little bit better, I might not see them again.
Right. They fall
Whereas
back into their routine because they feel okay. I'm okay now. I'll see you until they get right back into the other things. So, because see, guys, transformation. She said a really critical word there. Transformation is hard, right? You have to work at that, and so most people don't want to work, do they?
they
And that's the
don't.
problem. I find that even in my business. They don't want to be transform. I want you to transform to be in control of your money. No, I don't want to think. You want me to think? Yes, I do. And that's the thing. But you've got to want to take control of your life. I think even with your mental health, you've got to have a desire to be get some level of control so that you can free yourself from this. I don't know the word. I was going to say cage, but I don't know. This is not the right word. You correct me.
But sometimes it could feel like a cage, right? Like one minute your life looks a certain way, and then the next minute you are just underneath all of these symptoms and you're just
Mhm.
like, how did I get here?
Mhm.
And I think the Mindset Makeover program is for those individuals who want to overcome those symptoms, right? It's not for everybody. Like it's not going to be for the person who's just saying, let me give this a try. Let me just see how it's going to work. That
Right.
person has to want the transformation.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when I
Could
was on that plane, I wanted it.
right. You want your information, right. And so could you share with our my listeners a success story of somebody who went through the program and experienced significant improvements in their mindset and their overall well-being? And kind of share what were some of the key factors that contributed to their success in your opinion?
Yeah, so a person that comes to mind, a client that comes to mind is I'm going to use initials JM. JM was an executive, is an executive for a popular sports team. And he came to me completely debilitated with symptoms of anxiety and chronic stress. And these symptoms had gotten so bad that they started to impact his productivity at work,
Mhm.
his romantic relationship, and his relationship with his family, because it was like a version of him had emerged that he was not aware of, and that
Hmm.
he just wasn't able to articulate to people like, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm experiencing. And I feel like early on and working with him, just in a short few weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks of our time together in the program, just teaching him some of the framework that
Mhm.
that I just
Mhm.
mentioned, the 5 I framework, kind of going over a full game plan, helping him understand that this is where he is right now, although temporary. If we work together and use specific interventions tailored to his lifestyle, not my
Mhm.
lifestyle, his
Mhm.
lifestyle, that we could see some, foreseeable change. And he locked into, what we were working on together. And like I said, 6 to 8 weeks, he was able to notice a change as early as that time. And then he went through the entire 6 month program with me. And right now, I mean, a completely different conversation. That person is thriving personally and professionally. Having, not saying that he doesn't experience anxiety and chronic stress, but the
Mhm.
tools and the strategies that he has learned in the program to help him bounce back
Yeah.
and to help him not get stuck in that those ruts. I think those things have been transformative to his life. And so I'm very proud of that.
Now, see, so this is a money show, right? So that I see money in fixing, because you got to ask yourself, what does it cost if I don't get help?
Yes,
You see what I mean?
that's right.
And so his career improves, his productivity improved, so he made more money or kept his job, depending on and so is this, what's it called? Debilitating chronic situations costing you, what is it costing you? Okay. Is the question, right? And
Yes,
then the solution is priceless. It doesn't matter what it costs if
that's
it's, you know what I
right.
mean? And that's your people, because and that's what you so when when you talk to her, because I want you to give out your your because I want to give it out early before the end of the show, that we're gonna do it again, right? So if they're because hopefully this is striking a chord with some of y'all if y'all listen to this. So um what if they're interested in your programs? I want to get this out early. What can they expect in terms of structure, support, outcomes, and uh and then what's the best way to get in touch with you? How does it yeah, what's the best way to reach out to you if this is like what we're talking about is striking a chord with them? I want y'all to call her. Dr. Leslie, fix my life. So
So my quickest contact is info at mycoachdrleslie.com. That's
mm-hmm.
info at mycoachdrleslie.com, all one word. All right. So in time working with me, what my clients or what individuals or busy professionals can expect to receive is
Mm-hmm.
an initial game plan. You know, what brings you to the program and what are you willing to do and hold yourself accountable to doing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The second, they will receive an actual action plan. So it's a roadmap to this time that we spend together. These are my expectations to support you, and these are your expectations. So now everything is written out and everybody knows what their roles are. They will also receive ongoing progress monitoring to make sure that we need to tweak anything. Is this working? Is this intervention need to be rearranged? They will receive weekly live group coaching calls. So they will be in a group of other like-minded busy professionals, which I found to be very helpful in and of itself. They will also receive bi-weekly one-to-one coaching sessions from me, and they will have a client portal where they will receive step-by-step trainings in particular modules. So
Mm-hmm.
there are 12
Mm-hmm.
modules that they will receive. They will have a private one-to-one chat pod where they can reach me at any time or any member of my team. And they also will receive a Facebook support group. So again, that goes back to the accountability of teamwork and having other like-minded individuals. So that is what someone can expect in the full program working with me for 6 months.
That's awesome. All right. And you got to ask yourself, listen, is it, you know, I need to get this together. I'm tired of all of these feelings that I don't know how to control. I don't want to go to therapy 2 or 3 times a week. You may still need to do that, but what if you could
Yes.
shortcut this process a little bit by somebody
Mhm.
that's trained, has a doctorate, master's, doctor. Okay, uh, Leslie Becton, just 18 years. Let's go back to the framework of who you're talking to. So she knows the old way. She's not like some newbie on the scene with I got a great idea. All right,
Right.
so she's got that. She's experienced this, and she had to kind of figure out how to help herself, and then through that's where the framework developed, right? And then you learn how to apply that to other people. You've done it with other people and got success. So
Yes.
you know Dr. Leslie's the real deal, and I want y'all to reach out to her. So we're going to put all her contact information in the show notes if this fits out to you. So now I want to switch gears, and I want to brag on you a little bit, because she's one of the clients of Practical Wealth for what, almost 3 years now.
Yep. Hmm.
So tell them, somebody asked one time, "Well, can you you have a testimony of somebody who's actually going through your program?" So I said, yes, I do. I have several, and we were talking about it because she's very coachable, right? I say do something, And one time I was calling you, right? And I said, well, you should try this. And then she goes, yeah, I did what you said. Like the next week, we had another meeting the next week. This is about starting the thing that eventually became
Right.
this thing, right? And I was like, what did I say? and and you did it, and that was the thing. So talk about your transformation, where you were, be, if you don't mind, to not details, but where financially, where you were mentally, and and what little 2 cent I throw in there, and how it's been helpful. We helped her become the bank and all that stuff, right? Can you share
Yes.
with them a little bit about Dr. Curtis? No, just kidding. The
Yes. Yes. I always tell you, and I talk about you all the time, right? I think the quintessential thing that I walked away with, so many gems. But the most important things were mindset. It
yeah,
wasn't the money itself, it was the things that you taught me, in terms of my mindset and how I thought about it, how I think about money, and what am I investing in. And one time I spoke to you in one of our calls and I said, I'm thinking about getting a coach, because at that time I was launching, another, private practice,
right,
and I knew I needed additional support, and but the way that I was thinking about it wasn't correct. And you pretty much said, what, first of all, what are you going to do? The same question you asked, what would you
right.
do? How's your life going to look if you don't do it? Right? You're just going to be in the same spot that you're at. Like, in order to get to the next level, you have to be willing to,
Right.
actually find
And she had a
people who
lot
are
of
in
motivation
alignment.
because she wasn't in love where she was working, even though she was making good money. She hated it.
I hate
I
it.
was trying to slow her down. She's like, "Oh, I quit." Go
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah, so I had quit my, six-figure income job, right? And I wanted to start a private practice, and a successful one. I didn't want to have any changes in my finances.
Mhm.
And I think you kind of helping me understand the importance of coaching and having mentors and having people who can take you to the next level mentally, financially, personally, like whatever that thing is. You also explained to me, I kept saying, well, I'm a therapist, I just want to do coaching, I just want to consult. You said, no, you are a business owner, and you got to get that in your head. And once you get that in your head, I think things will be different. And when I made that shift in my mind that I am a business owner, and these are all of the things that I can do in retrospect to, my skill set and my business. So, even though counseling is a thing that I do and I do it
Right,
very well, I am also a coach. I am also a consultant. I am also, a speaker. Like, I am a
right.
variety of things. I'm also an author. So it's a lot of things. And I feel like because of your program, mindset, I was able to think about wealth in a different way. And I was able to make certain investments in myself that have the return on investment that was way greater than me buying a property.
Right. She's like, "I wanna buy." She had all these things she wanted to buy. I was like, "Huh. What's your number one asset? You. What's your number one investment? Your business." and I had told this story of this what this one of it was actually y'all heard me interviewing Kyle, one of his clients that invested. I actually told the story wrong. He invested. I told you she invested $20,000 in the program, and then grew his business, doubled his business, literally from 600,000 to $1.2 million and all this other stuff. And then so I mentioned that like offhand, right? And then she's, oh, I found somebody that'll do that. And what do you think I should do it? I said, well, what's a client worth to you? And she said, oh, I said, well, what's your thing cost? Well, how many clients do you need to pay for it?
Huh?
Like 4. Okay, they were guaranteeing you like 10 or something like that, or something crazy like that, right? And so that's it. But the first thing, so I took her, we talked about the 5 principles, right? So I made her say, listen, you need to do what? Save 15% of your every check, right? And so because if you have capital, that takes the pressure off because you know that you have some money. You can't just jump out of a perfectly good airplane without a parachute. You
Uh-huh.
know, we've set up her private banking system. all that stuff. So all of that stuff, because that's not the most important thing. That's just like when you make money, you got to know what to do with it when you get it. So I think we set the framework up for that,
Yes,
because I knew she knew how to make money, but it's not what you earn, it's really what you keep.
that's right.
So I'm proud of you. I mean, she's killing it. She's about to blow, she's blowing up. Because I, she just called me last week. I said, "What, you're doing what?" So you got to get on and tell the story about what you're doing, because I know people that have those challenges. So I really wanted to get that out there. And then I know people. I've had you talk to one of my clients about that, who was wanted to do the same thing, and in terms of a therapist, and but kind of stuck and didn't want to do the stuff. So I always try to connect people, because you just need to hear somebody that's like, they're in like second grade and you're in fourth, right? Because she was just starting, but she
Hmm.
had a little more insight. So as you're doing that, you steel sharpen steel, and you have to be open. I try to learn stuff. I try to share, because I'm in business, right? So I love talking. It's like we will get on a call and I'm supposed to be talking about money. We might spend half the call talking about business ideas,
Right.
and this and that, right? And so, because I always want to leave people knowing more than they did when they got off the call from me, because I don't want people, oh, what does Curtis want? I want you to, every time we talk, I need you to have an idea where you can walk away and make more money.
Right.
And so that is cool. So I that is great. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, my pleasure. So that was good. So listen, this I thought was a good little short talk where I want you to
Mhm.
hear a success story of our clients, but more importantly, I think, there's a lot of people that don't, because in the especially in the Black community, we don't talk about that stuff. And
Mhm.
so you've got to take care of yourself, and you've got to get help. I don't know that I always thought it was real, so I'm old school like that. So I'm like, listen, just get yourself together and bite the bullet and keep it moving. So I found that don't really work. So I have to, it's like football. Oh, get some salt tablets, and get up and keep working. Right? It's like no, that's the old school stuff. So I know you got to drink water, and you don't need water. My coach, like football coach, you don't need water. I ain't tired yet. You don't need no water. You know, if you pass out, I'm just gonna give you some smelling salt, give you some salt tablets, and put you back out in the field. So I come from that era. So it's like, don't listen to Curtis when it comes to meal stuff. You need help, call Dr. Leslie, and you listen to me, you're gonna hurt yourself. So unless it's about money. So my wife
That's
says, stay
right.
in your lane, right?
That's
Stay in
that's
your
right.
lane.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you have any I'm gonna give you the last word. Any closing thoughts as people are working on their journey as business people and their journey with their struggles with mental health that you want to share with them as we close today?
Yeah, so just like you were saying, right? A lot of people still have that stigma of all races, colors and creeds and genders, right? That I don't need any help. I can overcome these symptoms on my own. If you could, you would have, right?
Yep.
And the price that you pay for your mental health to be, top notch is a priceless situation. And
Yeah.
so in order, just like any coaching program, in order to move beyond where you are, you got to talk to somebody, or you got to be around people who are, at where you want to be, not
Yep.
where you are, right? And so I just encourage people to reach out and get support, but they have to be ready.
Yeah.
They have to want it. And so if they're looking for a real transformation, I'm definitely on board, and I am their mindset mastery coach.
All right. There you go. And she got it. So reach out. I want you to take action, and we're gonna put this stuff in the show notes. If you were like on a treadmill and couldn't hear it, and reach out and have a conversation with her or her team and see if she can be of service to you. All right. So guys, go out there. And so today we worked on your mental, your mindset and clarity and mental stability. You can't grow if you don't have mental stability. So you got to work on that, because you got to have balance. You got to eat right. You got to work out. You got to have a game plan with your money, but you want the whole package. Okay. And so hopefully with practical wealth of giving you a little bit to add to that, because to me it all relates to money. I can make any conversation come back to money, right? So anyway, go out there, guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Dr. Leslie.
Thank you.
And guys, thanks for listening. If you know somebody that needs to hear this, please share it, right? Leave us a comment, but forward this and let them listen to that. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that could benefit from hearing this conversation. Have a great day, everybody.